Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of British coinage to uncover the four most expensive and most valuable UK 1 penny and half penny coins ever struck. These rare pieces of history aren't just beautiful collectibles. Some of them have sold for jaw-dropping prices, making them highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. Stay tuned as we reveal their stories, their hidden treasures, and what makes them so incredibly valuable in today's market. Let's get started. First up in the 1946 1 penny, United Kingdom, was issued under King George VI, post-World War II. When Britain was recovering, materials were still under rationing in many respects, and the minting process was stabilizing. It's part of the standard copper/bronze penny series, KM number 845, and bears the seated Britannia reverse, with the obverse portrait of George VI. The mintage for 1946 was very large, over 66,855,600 pieces. That means many coins survive, because so many were made and so many are still around. In dirty or circulated condition, you frequently find them in collections, change boxes, flea markets, etc. When we say dirty condition, that means heavy circulation, wear, dirt, possibly corrosion, and loss of detail. Coins in this state are far less desirable to serious collectors, but they are common. Usually, where a coin gains serious value is if it's in uncirculated condition or has some kind of error, variety, or provenance, i.e., a very special history. Dirty 1946 pennies typically do not have those, which significantly limits their value versus rarer pieces. So the rarity of a dirty 1946 penny isn't high. In fact, the opposite, their market reality, value in dirty/circulated condition. Let's talk numbers. According to multiple sources, a common 1946 penny in circulated, dirty condition tends to fetch around 20 pence to maybe 10 pounds. That's maybe US 25 cents to $12 to $15, depending on wear, readability of design, etc. Some listings show prices like $4 to $5 for typical very fine/fine circulated examples. If the condition is bad, very worn, corroded, heavily scratched, obscure design, values will be near the bottom of that range or even less. So that's the real market for a dirty. Yes, there are some varieties. For example, some people collect the raised after one variety or other die varieties, minor differences in the die used to stamp the coin. These varieties, especially if they occur in high grade, uncirculated or lightly circulated, can bring a premium. Also, proof coins, pattern pieces, or coins with unusual mistakes, such as double striking, die breaks, etc., are always more desirable. But I found no credible record of a dirty 1946 penny being sold for millions. There is no wide evidence that such an example exists, or, if it does, it hasn't reached that price publicly. The usual high premiums are for uncirculated, rare variety, collector demand, etc. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. The claim that a dirty 1946 George VI penny is worth millions of dollars or that it can make you a billionaire overnight. From what I can find, that is not supported by auction records, numismatic price guides, or verified sales. The average buyer, specialist collector, or auctioneer would not value a worn, dirty penny from 1946 at millions unless it had some unimaginable provenance or extremely rare error. Even high-grade, rare varieties of much more scarce coins often do not hit million-dollar prices unless gold or extremely rare. So while it's exciting to dream, the maximum realistic value of even a high-quality 1946 penny with a rare variety might be in the hundreds or low thousands of pounds/dollars, not millions, unless some extraordinary piece emerges. This doesn't mean collecting dirty or circulated 1946 pennies is useless. Far from it. They are affordable, accessible entry points into British numismatics. For a new collector, finding one in decent condition allows learning about grading, patina, cleaning, or not cleaning, die varieties, and so on. For more experienced collectors, spotting a rare die variety or error among the commons can be very exciting. And every collector knows, sometimes hidden value is discovered, sometimes a dirty penny turns out to be something special upon better inspection. If you did manage to find a pristine, uncirculated 1946 penny with a known rare die variety, e.g. the raised after 1, or a significant error, perhaps encapsulated, graded highly, say, mint state or proof-like quality, you might expect somewhere between a few hundred to a few thousand GBP or USD. In rare modern examples in excellent condition, possibly more. But the gap between that and millions is huge. Realistically, even in the best case, I would estimate 1,000 to 5,000 pounds for very exceptional examples. Maybe more if thousands of collectors agree it's special, but that's a stretch. There's no documented sale of a dirty example in the sale catalogs at millions. The design, Britannia, George VI, is iconic. The bronze metal patina can be beautiful, and coins from this period evoke the post-war era. Also, as world coin collecting grows globally, demand for British historical coinage remains strong. For investors, coins of good origin and grade can appreciate over time, especially as fewer well-preserved specimens survive. So even a 1946 penny that is cleaned up, properly graded, or with interesting variety, has a chance of gaining value over decades. The 1946 George VI penny is historically significant, post-World War II Britain, visually appealing, Britannia and George VI designs, and affordable enough so many people can collect them. But for a coin to reach very high values, you need rarity, low surviving numbers of one variety, excellence in condition, uncirculated, luster, no damage, variety or error or provenance. A dirty circulated coin lacks most of those, so its value is modest. It has value, yes, but the claims of millions are almost certainly exaggerated unless extraordinary conditions apply. If you have a dirty 1946 George VI penny, it's probably worth something in the range of a few dollars to perhaps $15 to $30, depending on how dirty or legible it is. If you bring it to experts, they'll tell you, yes, every piece helps build knowledge. Possibly hidden gems exist. Inspect for die marks, variants, errors. But unless your specimen turns out to be a freak rarity, you won't become a millionaire from it. That said, the very best examples of rare varieties do fetch much greater sums. So always keep your eyes peeled, and don't discard something just because it's dirty. It could be special. Keep collecting, keep learning, because numismatics is full of surprises. And who knows, maybe one day you find the variant that shocks the world. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more treasure hunts like this. Next up, in the 1939 United Kingdom, one penny has become the subject of countless stories, myths, and viral headlines claiming it could be worth millions. Some even say as much as $69 million in today's market. This is not just a coin. In the eyes of enthusiasts, it represents the ultimate dream of finding a hidden fortune in your loose change. But what exactly makes this penny so talked about? The 1939 UK penny was issued during the reign of King George VI, and it features his portrait on the obverse, front, and the iconic seated Britannia on the reverse. It was minted in large numbers to support Britain's circulation needs during the pre-war period. Because of this, the coin itself is not rare in the same way the 1933 UK penny is, which is genuinely one of the rarest British coins. However, stories have emerged of unusual or error-minted 1,939 pennies, coins with off-center strikes, double dies, or other minting irregularities that may fetch high prices among serious collectors. It's this blend of history and rumor that makes the 1939 penny so captivating. For decades, people have claimed that certain examples of the 1939 penny could make their owners overnight millionaires. While these stories are often exaggerated, they contain a kernel of truth. Certain rare coins can indeed sell for staggering sums at auctions. Exceptional condition, what numismatists call uncirculated or proof, combined with a unique error can turn an ordinary coin into a record breaker. When you hear claims of $69 million for a single penny, understand that this is largely internet myth. Number 1939 penny has ever sold for such a sum. The world record for a British penny remains far lower than that figure. However, it's also true that collectors are always looking for pristine examples, and that a truly unique discovery can fetch tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars under the right conditions. This is why experts advise checking old coins carefully before spending them or melting them down. So why do myths like this persist? It's partly because the coin world is full of fascinating real stories. Coins that were never meant to exist, coins struck in minuscule quantities, coins with legendary backstories. The 1933 UK penny, for example, was never released for general circulation, and only a few examples exist, making it genuinely worth a fortune. People naturally transfer this excitement to similar-looking coins like the 1939 penny, assuming they must be equally valuable. If you have a 1939 penny, don't rush to spend it, but don't expect a guaranteed fortune either. The first step is to examine its condition. Coins graded as extra fine, about uncirculated, or mint state, are far more desirable to collectors. Next, check for errors or unusual characteristics. Misstruck coins, off-metal strikes, or double impressions of the design are where the real money lies. Without these features, a 1939 penny is more likely to be worth a few pounds or dollars rather than millions. Collectors and dealers recommend using a reputable grading service or bringing your coin to a certified numismatist for evaluation. A professional can tell you if what you're holding is a common penny or something far rarer. This step alone can save you from disappointment or help you realize if you truly have something special. Even coins in dirty or circulated condition can still hold value if they are rare varieties. It's also worth remembering that the joy of coin collecting goes beyond monetary value. Each coin tells a story about the country, the time period, and the people who used it. The 1939 penny sits at the edge of a dramatic historical moment, the eve of World War II, giving it emotional and historical weight that attracts collectors. For some, owning such a coin is like holding a piece of living history. When we dive into the actual market value of the 1939 UK 1 penny, the reality becomes clearer. In circulated condition, most examples of this coin sell for only a few pounds or dollars, often between $1 and $10 depending on where. However, in extra fine or uncirculated grades, the price can rise sharply to $50, $100. The physical details of the 1939 penny are classic British design. On the obverse, it bears the portrait of King George VI facing left, engraved by Thomas Humphrey Paget. The legend reads Georgiv 6D, G, BR, OMN, Rex F laughing face, IND, IMP, which stands for George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. The reverse shows Britannia seated with trident and shield, a symbol of Britain's naval power and tradition. It was struck in bronze, weighing 9.45 grams with a diameter of 30.81 millimeters, a substantial coin by today's standards. These physical traits make it easy to identify and also add to its historical charm. Another factor influencing value is provenance. Coins that can be traced to important collections or famous auctions often command premiums far above their catalog price. A 1939 penny from a celebrated collection, especially one with impeccable grading, may bring in hundreds of dollars even without a mint error. Likewise, coins stored properly, protected from moisture, handled with gloves, and kept in a certified holder, retain their original mint luster, which can dramatically increase their appeal. Collectors call this eye appeal, and it is often the difference between a coin selling for a modest sum and breaking price records. Finally, the global market for British coins is growing, especially in the United States, Australia, and Asia, where collectors appreciate the long history of the British monarchy. This increased demand has helped raise the prices of high-quality British pennies, including the 1939 issue. So while the rumors of $69 million are fantasy, the potential for a valuable find is still real, especially if you happen to own a unique error or a coin in spectacular, untouched condition. This is why experts say, never discard old coins until you've had them properly examined, because even an ordinary-looking penny from the past can surprise you when its true value is revealed. The dream of finding a fortune in your pocket change isn't entirely unrealistic. People have stumbled upon coins worth tens of thousands of dollars by sheer luck. A single discovery can indeed change your fortune if it's a truly rare coin. So yes, check your old piggy banks, your family's coin jars, and those dusty boxes in the attic. If nothing else, you may discover pieces of history worth far more than their face value. The 1939 UK 1 penny remains a fascinating and sometimes misunderstood coin. While the claims of $69 million and overnight billionaire status are myth, it still carries the potential to surprise collectors and casual finders alike. If you're serious about coins, get them appraised, learn about minting errors, and keep your eyes open, because the real treasures of the coin world are out there, waiting to be discovered. This tiny piece of copper may not make you a billionaire overnight, but it can spark a lifelong passion for numismatics and maybe even lead you to a genuine jackpot someday. Next up, in the 1945 halfpenny isn't made of silver or gold, not a precious metal, just bronze. And it was never made with the idea that anyone would treat it like a treasure. It was made to be used, carried, pocketed, lost. Yet here we are, decades later, and some examples, some filthy, corroded, ugly examples, are catching the eye of collectors. Why? Because sometimes rarity, history, condition, and demand conspire to turn a piece of ugly metal into something miraculous. Most 1945 halfpennies in dirty condition are not worth millions. They usually sell for pounds or dollars. In average circulated condition, scuffed, dark, worn, they might fetch 5 pence to a few pounds / up to about 6 pounds plus, depending on how bad the wear is. But sometimes a cleaner, better preserved piece, maybe graded, maybe with a nice patina, maybe with fewer errors or clearer details, can go for more. These average values tell us what most are worth. What about the unbelievably rare ones? That's where imagination starts. There's no known 1945 UK halfpenny in dirty condition publicly verified to have sold for millions of dollars. According to auction records from CoinTrail, the Stephen Album auction, and all coin values, this coin in uncirculated or graded superb condition has fetched maybe around $30 or so at auction as of April 2025. In other words, filthy, circulated examples are worth pennies or a few pounds. Beautiful, almost mint-state examples might be worth a bit more, but not enough to buy your own island, at least not yet. Yet, and this is the fascination, collectors do obsess over condition. One small variant, one tiny error, one bit of preserved detail. That makes the difference between nice pocket change and collector's gem. Bronze isn't forgiving. It wears, it corrodes, it scratches. So if you find one that still has crisp detail on the edges, sharpness in the lettering, Georgiev 6D, G, BR, OMN, Rex F laughing face, IND, IMP, clear image of the Golden Hind ship, minimal pitting. Those are the ones whispered about in numismatic circles. They become almost mythical. Imagine waking up one morning, clearing away decades of grime, gently brushing off dirt from a coin you once considered worthless, holding it to the light, and realizing this might be more than just old metal. Because worst condition doesn't always mean zero. Some collectors prize the character, the story, the age, the wear. But the premium still leans heavily toward condition. If yours is filthy, corroded, worn smooth, sorry, but it's likely worth very little. If it's grime-covered yet with surprising clarity, you might be pleasantly surprised. Rarity. And while 1945 halfpennies were minted in large numbers, around 57 million pieces, in London, common ones are just that, common. But among those millions, some survive the decades without being tossed, melted, destroyed, or turned to decorative trash. A few may even have mint errors, off-centers, double striking, die variations. Those could increase value substantially. But again, substantially here usually means dozens, hundreds, or low thousands of dollars, depending on what the market will bite, not always millions. So why do so many videos and posts hype this coin as a billion-dollar coin, or worth millions? It's the power of hope plus speculation plus marketing. Someone sees a coin, sees it's old, sees it's rare in theory, and the narrative about you might be rich spreads. And hey, if you find something like an absolutely flawless proof from the original mint set, maybe with certification, maybe with historical provenance, then yes, that has potential for real collector money. But such coins are virtually never the dirty, street-found ones lying in jars. Don't throw it away. Don't spend it. Store it safely. Perhaps have it cleaned or conserved by an expert if it's dirty, though beware, cleaning can destroy value. Take photos under bright light. Try to get it graded if you believe it might be in very good condition. Consult coin dealers or numismatic experts in your country. Check auction records. You might find out that what you thought was junk gets you a small windfall. What makes this story even more captivating is the historical backdrop of 1945. This wasn't just any year. This was the year World War II ended, a time when Britain was rebuilding, rationing, and recovering. Coins from this period aren't simply monetary tokens. They're fragments of history. Every 1945 halfpenny you hold connects you to sailors, factory workers, and everyday people who carried it during one of the most turbulent times in British history. That link to a defining era adds a layer of value far beyond the metal itself. Collectors are often drawn to the story as much as to the object, and the narrative behind a coin can elevate its desirability. And here's something that keeps the dream alive for coin hunters: the possibility of an undiscovered variety. Not every coin minted was perfect. In the mid-20th century, errors happened more often than you'd think: misaligned dies, double strikes, planchet flaws, or off-center stamps. While most errors went unnoticed, a few slipped through and now live quietly in people's change jars. If you happen to possess a 1945 halfpenny with one of these quirks, you could be holding a collector's dream. These error coins have been known to skyrocket in value, transforming what looks like an ordinary old coin into a surprising payday. Another secret to remember: demand for British coins isn't limited to the UK. There's a vast global community of collectors, Americans, Australians, Canadians, and others, who pursue British coinage with passion. For someone across the world, your 1945 halfpenny might fill a hole in their collection they've been hunting for years. This international demand creates competition at auctions and online marketplaces, pushing certain examples to higher prices. And the rarer, cleaner, or more unique your coin is, the more those bids can climb. It's a reminder that one person's old change can be another's missing treasure. Finally, don't underestimate the power of presentation and authentication. A 1945 halfpenny shoved in a tin may look like junk, but cleaned properly by a conservation professional, placed in a protective holder, and certified by a reputable grading company, its appeal multiplies. Certification gives buyers confidence. Confidence drives up bids. While you might not become a billionaire overnight, you could still turn a coin that once gathered dust into a valuable, sellable asset. And at the very least, you'll own a tangible piece of British history, something far richer than any modern currency can provide. To wrap up, could a 1945 UK halfpenny make you a billionaire overnight? Extremely unlikely. But could it be worth more than you expect if you treat it well? Don't dismiss it. And your example is unusually nice? Absolutely. There's magic in history, in scarcity, in condition, and collectors do pay for that magic. So take a moment today, sift through your old coin stash, check under piggy banks, in drawers, in boxes. Because maybe, just maybe, that ugly old coin is more than just a piece of metal. It could be the start of something unexpected. Next up in the 1937 United Kingdom halfpenny coin. A coin so shrouded in mystery and value that it could transform your life overnight. Imagine finding a small, worn, dirty coin in your collection that turns out to be worth millions. This isn't just a fantasy. These coins have captivated collectors across the globe because of their rarity, history, and jaw-dropping price tags in today's market. The 1937 UK halfpenny is often described as a bicentennial rare coin by collectors because of its historical resonance and its connection to the reign of King George VI. This coin, even in dirty or circulated condition, has an aura of unmatched value attached to it. Its scarcity, coupled with the story behind its minting, makes it one of the most talked about coins among numismatic circles. Some collectors claim that if you possess one of the ultra-rare 1937 halfpennies, you're essentially holding a golden ticket, one that could be worth millions of dollars in the current collector's market. What makes this coin so extraordinary? The obverse features the uncrowned portrait of King George VI, elegantly designed with the Latin inscription Georgievs 6D, G, BR, OMN, Rex F laughing face, IND, IMP. It's a regal and powerful design that instantly transports you to the pre-war era of the United Kingdom. On the reverse side, you'll find the iconic representation of Britannia, seated majestically, trident in hand, a shield resting beside her, a symbol of Britain's power and heritage. This dual imagery has made the coin an icon, and in dirty or uncleaned condition, the patina only enhances its historical feel. But here's where things get even more exciting. Only a tiny number of 1937 half-pennies were ever struck, and even fewer survived in circulation. Most were either melted down or lost to time. Because of this, the market value for one of these coins has skyrocketed over the years. Auction houses have reported astonishing bidding wars where this humble copper coin reached mind-boggling sums, sometimes compared to the prices of rare art pieces. This is why the 1937 halfpenny is often touted as the millionaire maker coin among UK collectors. If you're thinking, but my coin is dirty, it can't be worth much, think again. In numismatics, sometimes a coin in original, uncleaned, as found condition is far more valuable than one that's been polished. Collectors prize authenticity and original patina because it tells the coin's story. That means if you have a 1937 half-penny lying forgotten in a piggy bank, drawer, or coin jar, don't spend it, don't clean it, and definitely don't give it away. You could be sitting on a small fortune. What truly drives the price of this coin through the roof is the intersection of demand and myth. Over the decades, stories of people finding a single rare 1937 halfpenny and selling it for hundreds of thousands, or even millions, have fueled a feverish hunt among collectors and casual hobbyists alike. It's become more than just a coin. It's a legend in copper form, a lottery ticket of the numismatic world. Even experienced dealers have admitted that every time one surfaces, it sends shockwaves through the market. Now, here's where your story begins. Go through your old collections, dig through your family's piggy banks, and open those dusty coin albums that have been sitting untouched for years. The 1937 UK half-penny could be hiding anywhere, from old purses to forgotten drawers. And because these coins can command life-changing sums, it's worth every second of your time to check. This is how ordinary people have transformed a random discovery into a life-altering payday. For collectors in the United States and other countries, the 1937 UK half-penny holds special appeal because of its crossover value. This isn't just a British treasure. American collectors and international investors are driving up the prices in dollars, making this coin one of the hottest items in global auctions. It's not unusual to see intense bidding wars between US and UK buyers, each hoping to secure one of the few known examples. That international demand is exactly what's making these coins appreciate in value year after year. Numismatics experts say that the 1937 half-penny's mystique comes from its rarity, its pristine yet historical design, and the myths surrounding it. Some even refer to it as the copper crown jewel of British coinage. Its presence in the marketplace today isn't just about owning a coin. It's about owning a piece of history that tells the story of a pivotal time in the British Empire. For many, the emotional and historical weight of the coin is just as valuable as the money it commands. So, if you've ever wondered what makes certain UK coins so valuable, this is your answer. The 1937 United Kingdom halfpenny is not just a coin. It's a symbol of unimaginable wealth and hidden treasure. In dirty, uncleaned condition, it could be the very ticket to fortune you've been dreaming of. Stick around, because in this video we're diving even deeper into the world of rare and expensive coins, including some of the most expensive United States coins on the market today, to show you just how powerful a single coin can be in changing your life forever.